Welcome to Get Paid for Your Pad, the definitive show on Airbnb hosting, featuring the best advice on how to maximize profits from your Airbnb listing, as well as real-life experiences from Airbnb hosts all over the world. Welcome. We are your hosts, Huzefa Kapadia and Jasper Rivers.
Get paid for your pad. 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 Get paid for your pad.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Get Paid for Your Pad. Today we have a guest who has been on the show before. His name is Kelly Kampen and he lives in Bangkok. So Kelly, welcome to the show.
Hi guys, good to be back on the show.
Yeah, you're welcome. How's everything been going with your listing in Bangkok?
Very good. I'm full as usual.
Awesome. Did you win some sort of award or something?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think last time we talked, I hadn't got the award. I'm ranked as the top host in all of Thailand out of about 6,000 hosts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's a pretty good accomplishment.
Thank you.
What makes your place so special?
I think the same as last time. I think location has a big play in it, but also just customer service. You know, I've never gotten very bad review. If I pull up my listing, I've got now 264 reviews. I think we're at that.
Wow.
And responding to people, I think by responding to people quickly, I think that's probably the single thing that people say in the reviews, other than obviously great house, nice space. The other thing that's, different is people say responded quickly and got back to them. And I think that's usually the clincher because they're probably sending messages to a couple of people, I would think. And I get back to them right away.
And what do you do when you're asleep? How do you get back to them when you're sleeping?
I don't get back. I get back to them in the morning, right when I wake up, actually.
Right. Yeah.
So usually it's even a couple of hours,
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
and you use your phone, like you use the Airbnb app?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
that's what
You have to use the phone app.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I use Airbnb to travel as well, and I always send like 5-6 messages.
Right.
Know? And it always surprises me that, some people just get back to you like 3-4 days after.
Oh, wow.
And it makes me think, like, how are they ever going to get bookings?
Yeah.
If you respond that slow.
I think that, like I said just a minute ago, one of the key factors to getting a sale in any business is being responsive. Mm-hmm. So if you apply, like I own my own business, and a lot of people that are out there are using this as a second income. And if you apply a business mentality to it, customer service business mentality to it, you're going to get replies. You're going to get bookings because you're out there. You're working faster and quicker than the other people are. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, absolutely. No, I totally agree, and that's kind of the mentality that I had when I started my Airbnb listing. I really want to get the most out of it, and yeah, if you see it as a business, you take a professional stance, then people will notice that. Just by looking at your listing, people will be able to see, okay, this guy takes his job serious.
Yeah, you take pride in it, just like anything else.
Absolutely. So I'm actually gonna be staying at your place, so I'm pretty excited. Just like 6 weeks from now or something. Gonna be in Bangkok for a couple of days. So where else to stay than?
We can finally meet you.
Yeah, where else to stay than at the #1 Airbnb spot in the whole of Thailand. So I'm pretty excited about that. But let's talk about a new initiative that you came up with, Kelly.
Sure. So I've recently launched about 4 weeks ago TravelersChat, which is a Slack room, and a lot of you guys out there might not know what Slack is. Slack is a real-time chat application. It's a room, kind of like the old IRCs, if you want, but it's you can have it on your phone or on your computer, or on your iPad, and you can chat in real time with other people. So I've created a Airbnb hosts only. There's no guests on there. It's just for hosts to talk about things like how to improve your listing, welcoming tips, how do you do this, or how do you decorate your house to make people feel better in there, and just a community to help people out, but it's real-time chat.
Sounds great, man. And why did you, what was the reason that you wanted to start this?
I felt that there was a need for a community. I mean, Airbnb does have groups, and I enjoy that, but you can only access that on the web, and it's kind of, to me, it felt kind of difficult to really keep the conversation going there. Whereas messaging apps are very popular right now, and chat felt like a good way to allow other people to communicate to each other real time.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Airbnb groups, I'm a member of a bunch of groups, and it's the same. My experience is the same. Like, you put some, you reply to some messages in there, and then it typically takes a while before people reply, because I think a lot of people don't really check it very often.
Right. Exactly.
So I totally agree. I think the groups. I think Airbnb could definitely be doing a better job with the groups. So I totally see your point there.
It just seems like information can get lost in there. And don't get me wrong, information can certainly get lost in chat rooms as well. Obviously, you can scroll away. But I think that it's not meant for keeping long-time information. It's meant for, hey, I have a question, and I want a response kind of quickly. And so the community is still small. There's only about 50 people in there now. But it's growing. And, the more people come on board, the more vibrant it will get, obviously. I think that it's a place for you. If you want a real-time question, like, hey, I've got this customer coming in and he asked for X, how do you guys handle it? Then you're going to get a response, I think, quicker, because everybody in the chat room will see that, and you can conversate with people privately. I've set up private rooms for superhosts only. So, if you're a superhost, then you can be part of a private room as well. So, yeah.
How do you verify that? Like, do you manually approve people?
I manually approve people, and I require them to put in their listing so that I know that they're an actual Airbnb host as well.
Okay, that's good.
So it's all hand done.
And you can download this app on your phone, and
you can download it on your phone, your iOS or your Android device, and on your phone or on your computer as well. They have an application for Mac. They don't have one for PC. But even if you're on a PC, you can still view it in the browser in real time. Yeah.
And do you charge a fee for this, or is this like a free service, or?
It's 100% free right now. Yeah. There might be later on a fee, but right now it's 100% free.
Okay, great. And how do members get access to this? Like, if people are interested, like how does it work?
So all you do is go to TravelersChat. That's TRA. Let me just pull it up really quick. Travelers. It's TravelersChat.com. TravelersChat.
TravelersChat.com.
Yeah, one L.
One L, right? Yeah.
One L, correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure you'll put a link in your listing or in your podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put the link in. But isn't it funny that like some people write traveling with double L and some with one?
It's the British versus American wording.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's funny. Why did you call it Traveler's Chat, by the way?
Initially, I wanted it to be a community for anybody who was traveling, but then as I kind of thought about how I wanted to use it, I didn't want to. I wanted people who wanted to be my guests to be on Airbnb. I didn't want guests to have access to me directly. I wanted everything to be facilitated for guests via Airbnb. So I thought, well, it's probably a much better way to just have only Airbnb hosts talk to each other. So initially I'd registered the domain thinking that I'm going to have travelers and hosts talking to each other. But the more I thought about it in my mind before I launched, I felt it would be better just with Airbnb hosts.
Mm-hmm.
more of a close, tight community.
Right. What's your goal with this chat? Are you planning to sort of build some sort of business around it, or is it just going to be?
I mean, not at the moment. I really just want to help other people out. I mean, a lot of people I feel have questions that need to be answered, and it's hard to find a forum to talk to other people out there. I mean, if I can't answer it, you're on there now. You could probably answer it, and if you can't answer it and you're not available, there's going to be 100 other people that can give their insight into what's going on around them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely, yeah, it's great, man. I'm looking forward to being part of this, and I encourage everybody to go to TravelersChat.com and sign up for the servers, and let's make this a vibrant community of Airbnb hosts. I heard there's 3,000 hosts being added every single day now.
Wow.
It's
I didn't realize Airbnb was wow. That's crazy. That's awesome.
It's crazy, huh? I can't. It's almost so much. I almost can't believe it. Like, that's so many, And I know that on New Year's night they had 500,000 people staying in an Airbnb.
I did. I seen that their little infograph that they did for that. That was really cool.
Yeah. It's amazing how quickly they're growing.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I get worried about price because I live in Bangkok, so hotels are very competitive here.
Yeah.
And now the Airbnb community is getting very competitive here as well. So sometimes I worry about, I'm going to have to lower my prices and I'm going to have to, go down, and it's going to affect stuff. But I haven't had to do that so much lately. But it is there in the back of my head.
But you know what? Like, even though the amount of hosts is growing really quickly, it's my understanding that the number of people using it to travel is actually growing faster even.
I can see, there's definitely more travelers out there than there is, there's always going to be that huge gap between the number of travelers and the number of, because everybody wants to travel, but you stay at your home. There's not many people want to open up their home.
Right.
Yeah.
It's getting, I think it's, I'm just wondering, like, how big Airbnb is going to be in, like, 5 years from now,
I know, right?
So many people, and
it'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Be very crazy.
But definitely.
I hope they add in other features, like, for the hosts. Like, I would love to see the ability for me to charge for extra amenities. Like, I've lately, over this last busy season, which is now the busy season is coming to an end in Bangkok, but a lot of people have asked me for hotel pickup, and I've thought about facilitating that. I've tried it a couple of different ways, but it's not easy. I would rather all payment to go through Airbnb.
Right.
Right now, if they do a hotel pickup, I have to alter their reservation to add on a little bit of money, and I'll send my card to them. But it would be great if I could add in extra amenities like, hotel pickup, or they had like a 6-pack of Coca-Cola or whatever it is, that I could add in for extra fees. I would love to see that type of stuff. Another thing I would really, really, really love Airbnb to see or to do is hook in with airlines. Please put in your flight itinerary number, your flight number, and what day you're flying, and then it would tell me their flight lands at X. Expect them at your house in, an hour after that or something. Yeah,
that's a really good point.
It would be.
I totally agree. Yeah. I always ask my guests for their flight info.
Yeah.
Because, do you personally welcome all of your guests? I'm assuming you're going to be at work sometimes now.
I'm at work a lot of times, but I really try to.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they're arriving at 2:00 in the afternoon, I'm at the office. I can't do it. But I try to make sure that somehow we cross paths for a few reasons. One, that personal interaction is awesome.
Yep.
You get so much more kudos and brownie points if they can see you smile and laugh with them.
Right.
And then also, my house is kind of complicated. It's kind of there's a lot of gadgets in my house, so I like to show them how to use it so that they could get the most out of their visit as well.
Right. And but if you can't welcome them personally, like who opens the door for them?
I'm spoiled. I have a live-in maid.
Oh, nice. It's one of the advantages of living in Thailand.
Yeah, it's that geo arbitrage. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so my maid's always here Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
So she could let them in if it's during the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I always ask for when do they arrive. So I think maybe I should start asking for their flight info like you do.
Yeah, and the reason why it's really important for me is that my cleaning lady, she checks the guests in, but sometimes she specifically comes to the house to meet the guests, and then if they're like an hour late or something, then she has to wait for an hour, right?
Yeah,
and which is kind of kind of annoying for her. And if that happens a lot, like obviously, like I have to pay her a little bit more, right?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've had guests that have kind of like guesstimated their arrival time. So that, let's say their flight arrives at 10 a.m. and they say, okay, well, we think we're going to be there at 2. But they don't tell me that. They just say we're going to arrive at 2. And sometimes I don't know if that's the flight arrival or if that's the arrival that they think they're going to get to my house. So I think asking for the flight info is a better way to go. I should start doing what you do. And
also you can, you can check online if the flight arrived on time.
Right.
So at least you have an idea, like, okay, if the guest doesn't show up on time, like you can check. You can see, like, maybe the flight's delayed, or maybe not. Maybe maybe they're lost or whatever, and you can give them a call. But actually, I'm going a step further with it now, because even if I know the flight time arrival, it still depends. Like what time they arrive at my apartment still really depends on whether they take a taxi or whether they take a train and a tram.
Right. I tell almost everybody to take a taxi to my house, and it's just the best way to find it the first time.
Yeah, and I think in Bangkok the taxis are pretty cheap, right? But I mean in Amsterdam the taxi is like $50, at least. So a lot of people they want to opt to take the train and the tram, which is very cheap, but it probably takes an extra half an hour, maybe even 45 minutes compared to the taxi.
Right. Yeah, I know. Taking the public transportation here in Bangkok would add probably an extra hour to their trip here.
Yeah, so to really get a good idea of like what time they're going to be at my place, not only do I ask for the flight info, I also ask people like, hey, are you planning to take a taxi or are you planning to take the train? Because then then I can make a real estimate. But you really have to explain guests like what the situation is like, because you have a live-in maid, so I guess it doesn't matter that much if people show up a little later. But
it does when it's nighttime, because I like to get to bed now a little bit earlier. So if they're arriving at like 11 p.m., it can become stressful. I had a guest not too long ago, actually a couple from America, which they were great. They stayed for 2 weeks, but they were supposed to arrive at 11 o'clock. And it ended up that their flight was delayed. And of course, I didn't know this. And so they didn't get in until 3 o'clock.
Oh, God.
So I was kind of awake the whole time, not sure what time the bell would ring or happen.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
That is annoying.
I mean, it's annoying, but it's also part of our job, right? So
yeah, absolutely. No, it is part of our job, and and I think having that mentality, realizing that these things are part of our job, is something that, like we talked about before, it's something that really can help our business.
Right. Exactly.
Awesome, man. Well, I know you have to get to work. It's early in the morning in Bangkok right now. Yeah. So we'll keep it a little short. So maybe you can just let our listeners know one more time how they can sign up for your new Airbnb chat forums.
Absolutely. It's TravelersChat.com. That's TravelersChat.com. Travelers Chat. And look forward to talking to you guys on there. You can just like on Twitter, you can @Kelly Kampen, and I'll get a notification once you're on there. So
awesome, man. Well, I look forward to using it. I think it's a great initiative, and any initiative to help hosts do a better job and grow the Airbnb community, I think is always good. So I'm definitely going to sign up and encourage everybody to do the same. And well, thanks a lot for coming on again and sharing this with us.
Absolutely, and I'll see you in a few weeks. So
yeah, man, I look forward to hanging out.
All right, man.
Awesome, Kelly. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.
All right, take care.
And for all the listeners out there, we used to do every Monday and Thursday. Now, me and Josef are actually a little busy, so we decided to cut it down to once a week. So from now on, you can expect a new episode every Monday. And of course, we also have a lot of cool resources for you guys at getpaidforyourpad.com. You can download a few chapters of the book that we wrote, and you can also get the audiobook for free. And there's a lot more cool stuff on there. So check that out. The show notes for the podcast episodes will be at getpaidforyourpad.com/podcast. So you can find all the links to the things that we talk about. I'll put Kelly's listing up there in case you want to go to Bangkok, and also the chat room that he has created. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Get paid for your pad. Get paid for your pad. Get paid for your pad.